streaming I'm having trouble with my streaming. I think I'm being caught on to. No. Um, so here, Sergeant De Leon advocating for himself because um, the VA, the federal government, is opposed to um, looking into further forwarding their um, um, SOPs to address my medical issues, my situation. And so I have to put it back on them to to address that they are not giving me the benefit of the doubt, and they are not addressing their own standard operating procedures according to the federal government AR, whatever code, da 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 da, right? Okay. So I have every right to address those issues, and this isn't because I feel. This is because it is what it is. They are not addressing their issues according to the federal government statutes. So, as far as being an advocate for myself, it takes a lot of work. It's a lot. It's a lot to endure. It is very much so. So I thought I'd just maybe play a little guitar for y'all because it gets boring, right? I mean, listening to somebody bitch all day is sort of like, well, what's being done about it? Exactly. I've been dealing with this for some time now, for a little while, trying to address, well, why isn't anything really um, become being forwarded in the manner of addressing it to be resolved? Why? So obviously somebody's already got it in the federal government has already got it situated. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to do. It's already been addressed. So again, um, I need like a story done on myself. Um, Not a big story, nothing elaborate or anything in that matter. I just need something that shows that I am addressing an issue that is almost impossible to address, and at the same time going through a progressive medical, a severe progressive medical issue that has been sustained overseas during combat, and now it's has come to a point where it's at a critical state of what's going to happen next. You know, what can I expect? Well, I don't know. So that's where we are with it. It's going to be a short podcast. I've just been given the cue of let's go. So I have to see if we can get something going here. Cool, huh? Yeah. So, um, um, so yeah, I would think that advocating is an endurance situation, and it only goes so far because then you're addressing um, what it needs an outlet. It needs something to resolve itself because if you just keep advocating, then it can go on forever. It's like going to school, right? You can go to school forever and not do anything with it. So, um, so as far as progressing with my advocacy, I think I'm not doing too bad. It's going slow. Um, when you start involving people in accountability, it really slows down. That's what I've noticed because some people don't know that they're fucking up, and I know it's hard to believe, but it's true if you're working under the government. When you're working under the government, following an SOP is your ass, and you need to know whether or not it's you're doing your duty, and if you're not, then somebody needs to point it out, and you need to be accountable for it because that's part of the job. And unfortunately, I could be in that situation also, but it doesn't mean that these people are not accountable. They are. So, there's certain things you just don't know, and you need to be aware of them. So if you're extra careful, it could be all worth nothing, you know. So, um, so that's what I gather, and I believe that's where I'm sitting right now, as far as getting myself situated with my case. But I do have a lot to a lot of examples of how I'm being medically ignored by the community, medical community. Yeah, I mean these are all doctors, So, um, so I think I more than believe I have a case. I have a case. I mean, I have just because. In other words, the overall idea is that look, I'm losing motor function. People out there that are losing motor function also and getting diagnosis before I get one is because sometimes it's visible. They can see it. Maybe it wasn't visible in the beginning, but that's the prime example of why I'm in my situation. So mine may not ever be visible because of the specificity. That's awesome of my situation. So it could be such a unique injury, and I wouldn't say unique. I'm not. I hate that. A specific injury that it's never going to be visible. And so I'm in line. I'm being jumped over by all these examples of people having similarities to having motor function with strokes and injuries and stuff. And I'm sitting here still waiting for the federal government to say, "Hey, here are your benefits. Here are your things. We just can't, pinpoint what it is, but you're in line with everybody else." I mean, it's not unusual that we can't see your TBI, but you are fucking in a serious situation and we need to address it. And if we can't address it in a timely manner, then we need to put you in that timely manner. You need to start dictating what you need. And that's what I'm doing. But I haven't been granted that. So I'm not able to get any medical management. You understand? At least something to take care of it. Like, hey, we think maybe you're, in other words, I should be getting the benefit of the doubt, which means, hey, look, Maybe your TBI is more in line with a multiple sclerosis type thing because you're having somewhat of a demyelination of the cells. And to think ahead, this is what maybe will happen to you in the future, maybe the near future. So we're going to go ahead and put you on this medication. That is medical management, people. Well, maybe it'll hurt you. Well, I'm fucking tired of maybe. I don't live with maybe. Right? Maybe lives with me. I'm in control of maybe. All right. So okay, so let's put you on the medication. Let's put you on a designer medication, so that way, if anything, it's not going to be anything that's going to hurt you, suddenly, or it's going to take some fucking time for this medication to really hurt you if you don't have this situation. And we've been wrong on the diagnosis, the prognosis, whatever. But considering what it is, I'm sure it's not going to harm me. It's going to help me, right? It's going to prevent maybe something from coming up from maybe multiple sclerosis. I mean, have you guys seen this fucking dent on my head? Have you seen it? So, when I got this little zit looking thing that's on my head, it just appeared, and I thought that's what it was, from shaving my head. You get zits, when you shave your face sometimes, you just do. It clogs the pores and you get a zit. So that's what I thought it was, but I don't shave my head down to skin anymore. I used to, but I just shave it as close as I can, so I shouldn't be getting those. And I don't get them anyways. But I got one and it was right in line with where I injured. And I didn't know it was right where my injury was. So my injury is right on top of the head. I mean, right center of the head. And if you really look, you can see a scar there where it got it. And so it happened right there, but just off to the right. So it'll be on my right side. Your left, my right. And so I ended up taking care of it. And when I was taking I was taking some of the liquid out of it, the fluid out of it. And it kept coming, and a little bit tainted blood, but mostly clear. And so it ended up creating a indention there. And I was like, wait, what the hell? And so it was always there. It's just that now it's starting to affect me. It's starting to show itself, its ugly head, right? And I got one here too. And this one I really took care of. And it still shows a spot there that out of picking on it, that kind of thing. But this one here created it's a indention. So every time, like right now, it's starting to scab up, and when I take showers and I clean my head, it comes off. It keeps coming off, but it doesn't heal. So I push it and clear stuff comes out, a little bit of blood, a little bit of clear, and as I do that, all that liquid that's in that little cavity there keeps pushing down and down, and I have this indention, and it's right on the damn injury, but just off to the right, just slightly, but connected to it. So it's got to be something there, and I can't understand why these doctors don't want to see it. They don't want to see it. So I have to go in and show them, it's got to be part of that skin, layer before the brain. That I don't know if it's eating it up, but there's a reason why it has a cavity, and it's there, and it's always been there. It just didn't show itself because but now it's starting to really maybe be, it's becoming worse, and so I got to go in sometime and show them that, but I came in, I went to emergency and it got infected. And so they gave me some doxycycline, or I don't fucking know what that. And I took care of the infection, but now it's just there and it keeps hurting. And so I'll show it sometime. Yeah, I'll show it sometime, but I got to find a time. There's like a time and a place for it. And of course, the VA is not wanting to acknowledge it. So now I have this behavior of, while something happens to me, they're not going to take it into account of taking it serious and connect it to a TBI because they don't even want to give me a TBI. They don't want to give me an evaluation for a TBI. They don't even want to put me in to say a possible TBI. They don't want nothing to do with it. And it is pissing me off, right? Somebody can actually go in and say, "Hey, I want to check to see if I have a TBI. Can you guys do?" And they'll throw them right through. When it comes to me, I already have tainted myself for these doctors are saying, "We already said you don't have a TBI." And now that the federal government has put me down as that, it's like I'm in prison. I'm in like TBI prison, right? Like they're like, "We already dealt with you, and we're not going to deal with you anymore." That's basically what that doctor told me. Can you guys fucking believe it? A doctor. I would expect a doctor to be more freely spirited and say, we've been going through this, Sergeant or De Leon. Maybe we could take a different approach, and because you definitely have something going on, you lose motor function, and it has. Maybe we just got to find a different way of giving you the diagnosis of TBI. But yeah, your case has been tainted, and I blame those doctors. I mean, all those doctors should be getting together and standing up for me and saying we are going to help Sergeant De Leon advocate that we are bound to the federal government. We have already put down that we don't think he has a TBI. So I want to uh, redictate my and see that's the problem is that the federal government has rules and regulations to oppose that. They have rules and regulations to not be able to redictate and reconsider what they have put down already. So it creates a mess, and they're not going to do it. All right, especially if you're the type of doctor who clocks in and clocks out, and you're near retirement, and you're just here to help out. Because veterans are treated like a bunch of shit. Look at me, I'm being treated that way. There's no excuse for it, people. There's no fucking excuse for it. There's none. Okay, and if you think there is that veterans, we all since we get free health care, it's not free, people. Since we get free health care, you should just take what they give you. Right? That's the idea. Yeah. You know, I thank the stars. I thank God for helping me as far as they have been helping me. My guardian angels, I believe in that, completely believe in that. I wish I could feed my guardian angel. I don't know how you take care of a guardian angel, but my guardian angel got me this far and is continuing. I've been hardy as far as my health has been concerned. So you can see that I'm fighting this TBI. I'm fighting this medical issue that, is slowly, surely, but taking me away. And I have such a hardy health, you know, being Native American and my culture, my background culture is very colorful. I have a little bit Jewish in me. I got a little bit of um, Moroccan in me or something like that from Africa. I got Irish in me. I got Spaniard. I got, you know, Anglo. So I got a lot of stuff that I believe is has made my health very hardy. So but you can see, I mean, I'm able to address issues, and it looks like I'm fine. I'm doing just great. But right, just slowly underneath the skin, it's eating me. It's getting real bad. My brain is getting bad. My memory is really terrible. I'm having just lots of problems, and most of them are the devil's in the detail. Um, my mobility has luckily has it almost seems like it. I'm not going to say it. So, but it looks like it hasn't been getting that much worse, but it has. There's small things that have come about that I won't go in. As I said, oh, let me continue. So the behavior. So I won't go in now. Anything that happens to me, anything that happens to you will go in because it's not normal that this is happening to you, right? But when something happens to me, it's in addition to the taking motor function away, maybe another part of my motor function. I'm like, hey, I didn't have that last week. It wasn't, it was working. Now it's why I won't go into the hospital because they're not taking care of me. They don't want to hear it. No one wants to hear it anymore. Oh yes, another this guy with the TBI. Fuck. Haven't we told him he doesn't have TBI? So I don't go into the hospital anymore for these issues. Isn't that a fucking shame? You know, it's like the how would what would be a good term, a good word to call it? The um the invisible TBI. I don't know, something like that, right? Like invisible the invisible injury.com. I don't know, but something. I definitely want people to hurt for what they have helped been done with me. Now, see, that's part of the issue. See, these days people are not adamant about having a feeling and addressing it. Like I want people to be accountable for my situation. Okay, and I want them to bleed. I want them to hurt as much as I've been hurting. Okay, and so I'm adamant. I know people don't like that, but I want it done. All right.